Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. This is the after show for Recovery Road. This is Season 1, Episode 2, The Art of the Deal. I'm your host, Heather Joy Smith, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Heather Joy Smith, along with my lovely co-host this evening.
Hey guys, I'm Michelle Phi, and you can find me on Twitter at _Michelle Phi.
And I'm Isis Velzquez. You can find me at Isis Velzquez and the number 4.
I'm Becca Brown, and you can find me at Becca B Talks TV on Instagram and Twitter.
And we have some very important guests with us in studio tonight. Give it up for the executive producers and writers. We have Bert V. Royal and Karen DiConcetto. Welcome, everybody!
Thanks for having us.
We're so excited to have you guys in studio with us. Like I said, you guys are writing these episodes for Recovery Road. You're producing them, pretty much doing it all. So welcome. How's it been working on this show so far?
So far, so good.
It's been fantastic. I mean, you know.
We love it. We've been best friends I can't do math, so.
At least 13 years.
At least 13 years. Somewhere around 13
Wow.
years. So getting to work together is kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Give us a little story, like, you guys writing, like, are you guys at Starbucks, like, 13 years ago? And, like, how is it? Like, how was it that the writers came about to be together? And
Well, we had very different careers back
Back when we first met,
Yeah.
I used to be a casting director, and she was an actress / pop star.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we kind of became writers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And usually we don't work at Starbucks. We work at your place.
Yeah. We used to
Or-
work in my attic.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, we wrote actually most of the pilot in the attic in my house.
Yeah, we did.
Nice.
Was there something that inspired you guys to think, because this is from a novel, obviously.
Right.
So what inspired you guys to go after the novel and recreate it for a show?
I got sent the book from the network, and I read about, I think, 3 chapters. I was like, oh, this is actually really, really good. And I get sent like every YA book, but that one I think had a specialness to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I called and I asked if I could work with Karen, because we'd always wanted to write something together. So and they knew Karen and loved her because she worked on one of their shows. So I was like, okay, cool. So then we went in and pitched it, and the rest is history. It was a long time ago, though. This has been over 3-year process.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
They
gosh.
say TV happens really fast, and I think it does for a lot of people. It wasn't for us. It's a really, really long road.
So you guys are so happy to finally see it on
Absolutely.
TV.
Yeah.
No, I feel like it was like more than a year ago that I heard
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you Google all the way back, they started about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like a year and a half ago seeing a Variety article, and I sent it to our EP here, and I said, when this comes out, I'm going to cover this, okay? And they kept saying, okay, let us know. And then like back in August when it was supposed to premiere, I'm like, okay, it's coming. Oh wait, no, not yet.
Yeah.
And then finally here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
Right when I read the storyline, I was like, okay, I'm watching this show. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just-
So let's talk a little bit about tonight's episode, The Art of the Deal. Last week, we all kind of agreed that we wanted to see the backstory of Maddy and Rebecca, because obviously there's some tension between the two of them. They used to be BFFs, not so much anymore. And we were kind of like wondering, like, what happened? So I'm glad we got to see the backstory on this, and seeing like that they were in high school, dealing OxyContin and Ritalin, like in the bathrooms and
everywhere.
They were
everywhere.
messes.
They were messes.
And we now know why Rebecca really doesn't like Maddy too much.
Right. It makes sense now because Rebecca got caught and arrested, and Maddy
didn't
kind of
stick up for her either.
Right.
What we get from this episode is that Maddie's a coward.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that was very
that's fair.
That
Yeah.
sets the tone a lot for her personality, Maddie.
Yeah.
Quick question: when it comes to the words that you guys use to describe a character, you got to be very careful because
Sure.
for me, that word "coward," I was like, oh my god, it just set the tone for where this girl, who she really is, and how she's hiding.
Right.
How can this word "coward" be part of what she's going through as an addict? See?
Do you want to take this? For me, sorry.
Oh no, go for it.
For me, the whole coward thing, I think she has a lot of issues. Like, that's just one of the many. But I think not being able to face her big problems and running away from them that's sort of classic addict behavior, I think. But part of recovery is stepping up and looking at it and dealing with it, and that's what we're going to see her do through the course of the show. She'll get hero moments. I mean, right now, she's kind of a brat. And so we want people to think that she's kind of a brat. I mean, if we had totally fixed the broken Maddy by the end of the first episode, that wouldn't have been very fun.
No.
Right.
Wouldn't be
Where do you have to
realistic.
go?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like even though she was called a coward and she obviously has those traits, I think as a viewer, I still want her to win. And I'm still like rooting for
Yeah.
her. Like, I feel like even though people were calling her that, I still didn't believe it. Almost like that. Like, I'm like, no, she's got this. Like, she's
Yeah.
got recovery,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of the people that she's meeting are chipping away and like bringing out the best parts of her, and she's bringing out the best parts of herself. I think it's slow going at first because we still have her sort of at a place where she doesn't really want to be there. Even though she kind of said at the end of the first episode, she said, maybe I'll check this out. There's still like I don't want to be here. So-
It's very tentative at this point.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the ending of the first episode I thought was perfect.
Oh, okay.
The riding the bike.
Yes.
That was my favorite.
That was so cute.
And the pearl of wisdom.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
I love pearls
the
of wisdom. That's why I fell in love with the show. I was like, oh, like this is, I'm a little
Life
older.
lessons.
So, you have a younger audience, but for me, it was like, okay, I'm still learning something along the way here. It's still teaching me something.
Oh, that's really good.
So, yes, for the pearls of wisdom. We didn't have a pearl of wisdom at the end, but we did have something that kind of helps an individual, and it was like lists of goals for the day. At the end of one of the things that we decided to do at the end of every of our after shows is to hashtag the pearl of wisdom, or maybe that thing that can help us become better people.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
great.
So in
Hopefully there's enough of them.
I think
We'll find something
we will
in every
find out.
episode.
Like there was no main pearl of wisdom like in the first episode, but there was something which was the list of goals for the day, which I think everybody should do in their lives.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It helps you organize yourself.
And I love too the fact that her goal changed throughout the day. Was have everyone not hate her, and then it was have one person not hate her, which I think that things like that are always changing throughout your day, and you can do that in life. You can change midway through if you want, and I think that's inspiring.
It shows progress.
Yes, exactly. And she's obviously making little baby steps each time. And so if that's what it was for the day, then go for it.
Right.
Although I think that was a
baby
very
steps.
eventful day for her.
Baby steps are a very long day.
Well,
We also got to see Rebecca's dad and talking about the Ritalin and prescribing her. And I think, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I kind of feel like he was the instigator in the beginning of this whole drug thing, maybe.
That's what I wrote down as well.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I don't think purposely, but I think it started.
Oh,
No,
we think absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
feel like it's
Okay.
totally on
It was
purpose.
it was honey. If you take these, you can stay up a little later and study.
Right.
And of course, I don't think he was like throwing them at her, but it was definitely it came as a result of that was the first suggestion
Yeah.
of it was oh this could help you if
Get into
you're
Yale.
for finals week or something.
Right.
Right.
And then it's so funny about her because we kind of went back and forth. She became an addict. I mean, it was, but it wasn't like trying drugs for the first time and all of a sudden she's, she's a full-blown addict. No, I think this was a sort of a slow burn for her.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Think her dad had good intentions at first?
No.
No.
That's not.
Giving your child drugs is
No.
not good at all.
That's not good intention.
And the way he wants
like-
her to hide it.
Like, maybe he wanted her to do well in
school.
thought
Yeah.
it would
he
help.
thought
he
was
could
doing-
help her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he thought he was in the clear. But,
Oh, yeah.
But we all know that.
No.
Right.
Not cool. Isn't he's the
Is it-
slightest character?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I was
love
just
him.
gonna
Oh,
say,
yes.
like, I just don't feel right about him at all.
Horrible. He's
Are we gonna see
horrible.
more?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he just is not a good person.
Oh,
I
he's
feel like,
awful.
yeah.
At the end, like when they were done talking, she was like, "I'm sorry, Dad." And he's like, "Oh, I forgive you."
I know.
That
It's
was
like,
horrible.
Yes.
Right.
Right. And then the whole, like him trying to get her off easier. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I know.
Yeah.
She's got to get punished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll.
But it's
you'll,
kind of like,
learn.
you'll
There's
get
more
to
of
meet.
Marcus.
I feel like a
yeah,
lot of
there's
dads
more
are
of
like
Marcus and the rest of the family too.
Okay.
oh, I was wondering about that
Interesting.
too.
Yeah, it's a big family.
Because she does
Oh.
talk about in the beginning that her family
Right.
just shuts her down.
They're shutting her out.
They're not
And,
supporting her.
And
Yeah.
if we go deeper into Rebecca's character, which I was so surprised with everything that's going on, we go into the question. If we just move along the storyline for episode 2, we see that she's taking these other medication to kind of help her with the withdrawals or help her cope with her addiction. So the controversy here is she really sober?
Well, that's
Yeah.
and we had a lot of research. We researched this a lot. Suboxone is a very controversial drug because it can be very, very dangerous. The withdrawal symptoms are actually, I think,
Worse.
fatal. I mean,
They can be
They
worse.
can be fatal.
Wow.
Yeah. Than heroin withdrawal.
It's tough, but it doesn't give you any sort of high or anything unless you take like a lot of it.
Now you say that Suboxone, it has other side effects, and I think. Do you have an idea? What are the side effects that you may have? Because what we see is later on is that we realize that Rebecca's a cutter too,
Right.
and now we're dealing into not just trying to be sober. There's more going on. There's depression. There's something going on deeper that maybe that medication can be part of the depression.
It could be. We never really thought of it that way.
Yeah.
We always kind of divided the two things. I mean, the thing about Rebecca that you learn or you have learned already.
very complex.
She's tragic.
Yeah.
Bless her heart. I just want to hug her really bad. Like, she's tragic. She's a big old mess of a human.
She's my favorite character.
She's
I
having
know.
a real time.
She's everyone's favorite. I mean, but it's just so sad. Like, so she has a lot going on, and we get to learn more about her past and what put her there and what put her. But yeah, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah. No
Would you
kidding.
guys try to incorporate maybe some of the side effects of this drugs that maybe can be part of her depression or her cutting habits or
You'll see that it does. The Suboxone story stays around. There's stuff that happens. It's
not the end of it.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
I think right now all she really needs is people on her side.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I hope that her and Maddy can rekindle that friendship.
Right. I think it's going to take a lot of work.
It's gonna take work.
It's gonna be fun to watch them fight along the way.
I know, no
Oh, yeah.
kidding. I like it. Let's talk about, we found some more drugs in the house this week from Maddy's unicorn. And we know that her father gave it to her. It was missing. Come to find out, Trish was the one who accidentally broke it,
Yeah.
dancing, whatever happened. It got broken and the pills and drugs and everything spilled out everywhere. And I'm glad she didn't use them.
Yeah.
Let's just
Okay.
start there.
Sold them.
That was good. But she sold them. So
I thought that was brilliant.
I know.
I mean, it's brilliant for the purpose of what she's trying to do. I
Right.
get it. I understand.
But
The counselor said you need to worry about getting a job.
Right.
Okay.
And
that's
she
very true.
got
Okay.
a job. If it's a drug dealer, that's her job.
there's a new job.
but I think it was. Listen, I think it was brilliant the way that you need to get a job. That was the stuck in her head. Oh gosh, I
And
gotta
she
get a
took that
job.
advice.
And she's like, well, I gotta make money the quick way.
Right.
Another reason why I think she didn't get high is because she's a meth addict.
Right.
So it wasn't meth.
That's true.
So she's probably like,
She's like, I don't
this
need
is not my
these.
type. But
Good point.
and I'm just thinking that way. But not only that, she has a goal. She wants to get her baby back.
Right.
So for her was
She's
like,
focused on
yeah.
getting better.
I need to get a job. What's the point of a job? Getting money. So she did what she had to do, and I thought that was brilliant and so beautiful to show that side of her character.
I love that character.
Yeah, she has a different way of thinking than most people
Oh.
would. I mean, I don't think I would sell drugs that I found, but that's just me.
She's a very optimistic character. Like,
Yes,
I love her personality though because she's always so,
so
happy
happy.
and just like I just love her. Like I
Yeah.
would love to hang out with her.
Yeah, like I don't think I could ever get mad at her
No.
for anything. But I don't understand how Maddy did.
It is funny though. She does keep like stealing.
Yes, she
lies
stole
and
the
things.
Cheetahs. She's like a undercover liar, like
Yeah.
stealer.
Compulsive liar.
compulsive- Yeah, because she's so like happy, but then she like does all these sneaky
Like
things.
klepto.
Yes,
There we go.
that's what it is.
But she doesn't have any like evil.
No,
not
no.
at all.
It's always like
Never.
It's all like it's all big heart. It's just misguided.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's such a lovable character.
If anything,
She
she
really
wears her
is.
heart on her sleeve too
Yeah.
much.
She does.
Yeah.
Like when she brought up Maddie's dinner for her and tried,
Yeah.
She's just so
But then she took it away.
I thought that was
You don't
great,
deserve
though.
this.
It was like, yeah, you're being mean. I'm taking this away. Like,
That wasn't scripted. She just did it. And
She
I
did it.
laughed so hard.
Oh my gosh, that's
Favorite
brilliant.
moment
Yeah.
In the entire episode.
That is so brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that. So when things happen like that occasionally on set, do you guys just kind of run with it and
Oh,
just
they're the
keep
best.
filming and you're just like, oh, well, maybe put this in later.
Oh, absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely. Some really good stuff comes out of like people just messing around on set, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Someone on the chat said that she took lemons and made lemonade. So that's a
so
really
true.
good. Yeah, that's very true.
That's exactly what it is. I love it. Let's talk about Maddie now and her friends and their influence.
Horrible friends.
yeah.
I don't think they know they're being
mean
horrible,
girls.
though.
Mean
I think
girls.
they do know they're being horrible people.
No, because
Ellie is very.
Ellie.
okay,
is-
Ellie's
yeah.
horrible. The rest of them, I feel like that's typical teenager behavior,
I feel like
think
they're
it's
just
petty.
following.
and they don't know
Yeah.
that she's like in recovery.
Right.
Well, yeah,
That's,
right.
That's
the
if
key.
they
Yeah.
knew, then they would be horrible people. But they're just being teenagers.
Right.
Right.
I totally agree with you. And I think as you see more of them, you'll understand that they're we didn't want them to just be like the stereotypical mean girls.
Mm-hmm.
They actually are pretty multi-layered, and you'll get to see a lot of that as the show progresses. And we have two really fantastic actresses that they didn't want to just come in and play, you know, the bitchy girls. They really wanted to come in and like make these girls real. So yes, they have moments of being, you know, stank teenagers, but a lot of the times, you know, you're going to see some other things from them, which I think you'll like.
Yeah.
What I really like about this show is that all the characters do have like different layers.
Layers.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's what I think makes it interesting
And I
as
feel
a
like
viewer.
people can feel like they relate to somebody on some
Yes.
level.
Right.
Like,
I want to see those layers of these girls because I just thought they were mean girls.
Yeah, and I can see why you do. You know,
Yeah,
it's,
that's fun.
they sure that wasn't them putting their best foot forward.
Oh,
Right, of course not.
But like I said, the actresses are so fantastic. They,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it was easy to hate them, and you know,
Yeah.
because they did their job.
And it was
It's a
fun
sign
for
of
us.
actress.
It was fun for us to kind of like peel back the layers too in subsequent episodes. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see. I want
I'm
to see.
excited to continue watching it.
I'm kind of shocked that Wes went along with that whole scene, though. Like, I don't know.
You think he would have called her out on it?
Not like called her out like in a mean way, but like
Right.
said something to the effect of like, wait, we do know each other. Like, I don't know.
I think Wes kind of like, I think he knew why they were pretending.
I definitely think he knew.
And
Yeah, he definitely
was like,
knew.
okay, I'll just go along with it. He's just like, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I think he also understands what she's going through too, because he's been back there.
He's
so
been
many
there in
times.
denial.
And
That's
Yeah,
true. He's
so-
been there a few times. He knows.
Right.
And
You're
he
right.
says it somewhere almost at the end of the episode. No judgment here. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
He's not. I guess he's
Right.
not a judging person because he's
Yeah.
been. I think he's been through more deeper stuff than every
Yeah.
other character.
We'll
That
find
he's
out
just.
next episode.
It's okay. Been here, done that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, they all kind of know what Maddie's going through at this
Right.
point because
Yeah.
they've been there. And
Right.
they're all trying to look out for her at this point, except for Rebecca, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought it was very interesting, though, that he kind of made it a point that he's not, like, into Rebecca.
Yeah.
That because we talked about this last week. We're like, does he like Rebecca or does he like Maddie? And
does Rebecca like him?
Rebecca definitely has to like him.
Rebecca
That's a
likes
good
him.
question.
Yeah.
We're not going to answer it. That's a good
I like
question.
all the speculation.
I think he's hard not to like.
Yeah,
his character is very hard not to like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
he's,
agree.
he's actually one of our favorite people in the entire world. I mean, Sebastian, who plays him, is a dear, dear friend, and he's so different than his character. His character is kind of quiet and a loner, and Sebastian is gregarious and wild and fun and talks a mile a minute. And yeah,
I think that's part of the reason, though, like in that scene where like they're playing the Never Have I Ever. I mean, part of the reason we put that in there is because Seb is so
Yeah.
gregarious and fun, and you know.
That was
we
a
wanted to
cute scene.
appease
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
I love that they
lot.
were like, like the things that they really have never ever
Right.
done were like normal people
Yeah.
things, you know?
Right.
I liked the popcorn
yeah.
container
yeah.
on her head.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
really cute.
They were
touch.
so cute.
That was adorable. They were just like playing as friends.
Yeah.
Or were they?
Or
We won't know yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like the scene at the very end where they were kind of sitting on the couch and just getting comfy.
It was cute.
It was
It
cute.
was very cute.
Cute. I love them.
I'm shipping it already.
What?
I'm shipping.
Oh, you're shipping them already? Do you guys have a shipping name for them?
Oh.
Yes, we did, didn't
We
we?
came up with one.
It was either a mess.
I saw that one online the other day.
It was either mess or wad.
Yeah.
I saw mess online. I was like, that's interesting.
yeah.
That works, I guess.
I'll have to work on these. Also, this episode, we got to see a lot more of Cynthia and her interaction and looking out for Maddy. What are your guys' thoughts on that whole thing about her kind of disciplining Maddy for coming in late?
I thought she handled it very well. You know, like she didn't get super angry at her, and she understood, which was like nice. That's like, I feel like Maddy really needed someone like that, someone who just understood what she was going through and why she just ditched Cynthia at the last minute to, you know, hang out with her friends.
I hope because Cynthia let her off the hook this time around that Maddy doesn't take that for granted and screw her over again.
I don't think
I
she
don't think
would
she- yeah, I don't
think
because
she will.
it was also a discovery moment for Maddy.
There's
Like,
also a moment.
you know, the counselor tells her, this is the first step. You're admitting
Yeah.
you're being honest.
Yeah.
You're being real. So
Right.
I think that's a discovery for the character.
And I think that Maddie's starting to realize, too, that Cynthia does see some of her in Maddy, and they're more similar than they might think, you know?
And I like how we found that out tonight. Like
Yeah.
how she actually said it, because we were all assuming that last week.
Right.
And
I love the story, even though it was made up. I love the story. It was so
I was like-
hysterical.
the first time I watched it, I was like, wait, what?
I was like, wait, what? Huh? What?
I like almost tweeted it, and then when she said, "Yeah, the guy died of internal bleeding," I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm staying away from that. Not goals for me."
Yep, we're going to leave that one alone.
I also really like the Cynthia and Vern scenes.
Oh,
this
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Their friendship is.
Except for they made me feel
cute.
old, you guys.
I know.
I was like, wait, that was me.
I went to
Oh my god.
We might be there. Don't worry.
I went to college with Danny, so
You did?
as old as he is,
I
is
love
as
it.
old as I am. We were
Oh
college
my
roommates. So.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my
We've been
gosh.
best friends since we were 17.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So did you know that he would? Did you like have in mind that he would play Vern?
Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I
Yeah.
wrote it for
He
him.
fits
We
the
did.
Yeah, but we didn't think he would do it. But we were excited when we went to him and we were like, and he was like, yeah, of course I want to do this with you guys. And so,
It was very exciting.
Yeah.
How did that process go for you guys on casting these roles? Because I feel like the people that are cast are so perfect for these roles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have such an amazing cast, and so many. I mean, pretty much everybody like walked into the room, and we kind of just knew that they were the person for the part.
But it was so strange because Kyla Pratt could not be any different than what I had pictured in my head.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she just doesn't look like her, doesn't sound like her, was nothing like her. She walked into the room, she did the audition, she walked out, we said it's her. And so, and she was actually the first person cast.
Yeah.
She was. Yeah, because she was that good. I mean, it was so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty much, I think all the casting was pretty simple. It was the same deal with Sharon Leal.
Mm-hmm.
She came in and she just blew us away, and so got the part that day, and it was
sort of
awesome.
the same. I mean, the funny one was Sebastian, because we didn't actually even meet him until he came out here to
shoot it.
To shoot the show.
No way.
He was in London, and
my
he
gosh.
auditioned from overseas, and we had like a couple of quick phone calls with him.
Yeah, and we got a great vibe, and we knew that we got along quite well with him, but we didn't actually meet him until the table read.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was great, and we all threw our arms around each other, and it was like we had been best friends for years, and and it was at the first meeting. Yeah.
I forget that the two leads are British.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Okay, so as soon as you guys call cut, do they like go into their British accents again?
Well, it's funny. Jessie does. Like and it's so jarring because she has a Welsh accent, and she'll be talking, and then roll cameras, and all of a sudden it's gone, and it makes you kind of do
confused.
That. Sebastian, who's not like a method actor by any means, but he comes in and he does it all day long. He does the American accent all day until they yell cut, and then he's back to British sub.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
That is very impressive.
Yeah.
Really
It's just impressive how well they cover their accents in general, because I feel like not every British actor and actress can do that well.
No.
They're fantastic.
And we'd have
really
no
good at it.
idea.
Yeah. I
didn't know.
Yeah, I
They were
forgot.
British.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only because I read it is how I knew that they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I saw
crazy. One last thing we want to cover tonight too is Maddy's mom. I feel like she kind of had an awakening, I guess you could call it, this episode too. She's not in denial anymore. She's actually admitting to Bree that her daughter has a problem and her daughter's in rehab, and it's not all flowers and butterflies in her life. So I think that's her step too. I think obviously her mom's going through this recovery as well.
She's so lonely, and it's really sad.
Right, it's very lonely and sad.
She make friends.
It was a first really good step forward for her. We're going to see a lot of stepping backwards as well. I think with all of the characters, though. I mean, it's
definitely.
We wanted everyone to seem sort of multidimensional. So, but people screw up a lot on this show, and we want people to get angry when they screw up. I think it provides interesting entertainment and more to talk about. So there's some times that I think you're going to want to like wring her neck a few times.
It's also
my gosh.
real life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the show is realistic. It's not like people doing something bad and not having consequences for it.
Right.
Yeah.
We really wanted to show sort of the Al-Anon community, which eventually we'll sort of get into, but Al-Anon is the family and friends of addicts, and so, she's got her own sort of journey to figure out, what is her part in this? What did she do wrong? What could she have done differently? Did she do anything wrong? So there's a lot of self-exploration for her that I think will be really, really interesting as we go on.
It's gonna be exciting.
I like that we're gonna see all these different dimensions.
I know, I love it. And we have a new
me
character
excited.
coming in next episode who, I'm sorry, character, but you look like a hot mess. You are such a mess.
You must be speaking of Harper. And she's actually one of the most beautiful girls I've ever laid eyes on in my entire life. But
You can tell that she's actually really pretty in real life, but like,
she is.
you guys just made her look like she hadn't slept in like 4 weeks.
Yep. She's such a fantastic actress. She's Aubrey. She's on Nashville.
Yeah.
And she did a lot of research on meth addiction, and you know, she knew what she was doing coming into it. She like had read a lot and asked questions, and then Jerry Oppenheim, our fabulous makeup designer, you know, had designed all of this look for her, and she would come to us and she'd be like, "Is this too much?
Should we add a couple?
Should we add some swords?
gosh.
Like, what, you know, what if she has a black eye?"
Oh my gosh.
This is part of our job. Like,
Yeah.
we like
Right.
get to like go and look and say like, oh, maybe like 2 more swords, or like, you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
The
Oh
teeth
my
could be
gosh.
That's so
browner.
fun.
It's insane.
Wow.
One of the things that we talked about on last show is that you guys incorporated the whole texting and showing text message form and things like that, and we all thought it was great. And we saw it a lot here in this episode where the mother is texting Maddy, but Maddy doesn't have her cell phone. My question for you, the whole texting era, I think has evolved within the past 7 years. You know, it's literally people have relationships just texting.
Oh, yeah.
And in a way, you guys show kind of like a bond or more of a relationship between the mother and Maddy just via texting. Is there any other way that you guys are gonna do that? But
Now that she doesn't have her phone.
no,
She never gets her phone.
good point.
They have walkie-talkies.
The tin can.
Tin
pigeons.
Well, hopefully that you guys, because see, I'm this whole texting thing. I tell them like, tweet. What do I do? I'm always asking her.
I'm gonna
what
give
is
her
this?
Twitter lessons.
Yeah, she's gonna give me Twitter lessons. But for me, it's like I want to feel that bond, that humane side with the character, and I think we're gonna see that in the future, especially when they do the meetings together with the families and the addicts and things like that. Is there any other way that you guys might want to show the bond between two characters? Another way that's not just text messages, like another new way that they're doing now in this new age.
Well, what we want them to do is actually talk face to face. Like that's
People do that?
Yeah. Well,
Shocker, I know.
I don't think Maddy and her mom have a terrible relationship. I just think it's one of I think they like each other, and I think a lot of Charlotte's behavior is more a friend thing than a maternal thing. So I think both of them being part of this program, the 12-step program, they're going to have to start talking in a very honest, open way, and it's like, you know, so that's exciting for us. But then also remember that we have this floating thing out there of the fact that Charlotte was the one who ratted her daughter out.
That's
Oh, yeah.
true.
That's gonna-
Oh yeah.
So
Can't wait for Maddy to find that one out.
We're still
She's not gonna be
interesting.
happy.
we were caught up with the bottle of vodka. That
Oh
was
yeah,
left.
with Cynthia.
We say
I'm
that
like, she should have poured that down. That's gonna come back to get her. I know it is.
I hope not.
it could come back to get somebody. It's the whole bottle thing was so interesting. We found all of these bottle moments in the first episode. We didn't even realize, like, the scene where Wes comes in carrying the big water bottle, like that was that was our DP had the idea to carry
For the light.
He was like, oh, that'll look really good, and then we realized after we shot it, we were like, oh, the bottle's sort of a recurring theme. In the
That's funny.
It's our motif.
Wow.
The pilot.
So maybe we'll come back and hunt someone.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things, you know, and another thing, the unicorn. It was so funny because originally she was Trish broke the unicorn at the end of the first episode, and the network felt, and I agreed after, you know, hearing their thoughts, was that we had this great, like, one day at a time moment with Maddy, and it's beautiful, and it's like, this is the beginning of her journey, and we thought it was just kind of like a cynical little fun thing to be like, oh, but she's got this stash of drugs at the,
She brought drugs to sober living.
Yeah, so maybe it's not as perfect. So we ended up moving it into the second episode, and we totally understood why.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was this whole, like, sort of watch the unicorn, because that was something that comes back, and it will come back again. Like, everything sort of keeps coming back up. I love when problems kind of float back.
Yeah,
and it's a unicorn. Like,
How did
who
you all
doesn't
come
like
up
a
with
unicorn?
with the idea for the hiding spots?
How did we do
For the unicorn?
For the unicorn and the bunny.
Oh, and the bunny.
Oh, and the bunny.
I think the bunny was you.
Maybe. I feel like with the unicorn, we wanted it to be something that, like, wasn't it originally going to be
ballet dancer?
Yeah, it was going to be a ballet dancer, and it was going to be a very little girl and very sweet and looking,
Yeah, I don't remember why we changed it.
Because we put drugs in there.
It was for practical reasons, because she wouldn't have been able to fit anything in there, and when you shatter it, the drugs also probably wouldn't have spilled out.
But
you had to hide them in a
But a
different way.
unicorn.
I definitely
It could have
did
been
not
any
see
other
that
thing.
though.
A unicorn.
The unicorn I didn't expect at all. The bunny I kind of like.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Well, you're hip to it now,
right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We'll just
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the unicorn I didn't even see coming.
Yeah. We wanted it to be sort of a shocker.
Yeah.
But we see that they're really smart because they pick places to hide these drugs that no one is gonna think of to look.
Right.
And little kids' toys.
Yeah.
And a sentimental.
Yeah.
Like something that has sentimental value.
There's a lot of stuff that gets hidden within the course of the first 10 episodes.
I was just
thinking. I was just thinking about it too. I was like, wow. There's
The
a lot
remote
of
control in the first episode. Where'd they go?
We have this very, very big storyline that takes place over many, many episodes, but it's about a hidden object. I'll just say that. But
we have so many hidden things.
I know.
Oh
I was
my
just
God.
thinking, it's like, wow, there's so many
secretive.
hiding things.
There's another motif.
Yeah. That's not bad.
I'll
That's
have
like,
to look for
is that
that a
bad?
lot.
No. It's just
The
funny,
show's
like, having this conversation. We're like,
interesting.
I never thought about that.
This is good. You go back and
And it
learn
gets more and more
more.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Have you guys finished filming for the whole season? Okay.
First 10, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I really love. I mean, I love the whole season, but I think the last 2 episodes are really, really fun. I mean, I thought they were really exciting.
It starts ramping up. I think.
There's a lot. There's a lot that happens within the course of this series, but it's one of those shows where every week when you tune in, it could be a totally different genre. I mean, there's some episodes are funnier than others, some are a little bit more suspenseful than others, but we wanted it to kind of be like life. It's like, instead of every week it's like a soapy drama, sometimes life isn't a soapy drama.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's fun.
Right.
Sometimes it's scary or romantic.
You
Oh.
You guys
okay.
have a very young following because we have a lot of comments on Facebook.
Oh, cool.
I'm sorry, YouTube and our.
Great.
And it's a young audience. And I asked you guys this before the show, and I want to ask you again on
Sure.
camera because we want to help. Because I got this text message from a 16-year-old kid. So he was asking, okay, what is the difference between a writer, a showrunner, a director? If you guys can just give us just the basics, because a lot of these kids, they want to get into the industry. So if you guys can give us a little rundown.
Yeah, certainly. Okay, so Karen and I created the show, so we were the writers, and
Also
and-
the showrunners.
But then, yeah, that's what I was so yeah. And sometimes it's not always the case where the creator becomes the showrunner. But the showrunner, if you think about it like a high school or any kind of school, we would be the principals. We'd be the principal. We'd be co-principals.
Nice.
I like that. Cheers. Cheers.
And so a lot of the creative decisions come down to us, and we have a staff of writers who are brilliant and beautiful, and we love them so much. And we do this big writers' room, and we all sit around and we all talk about it, and everyone kind of writes episodes, all the writers, and then we are tasked with just kind of doing a quick little polish of the script to make sure it sounds, because every writer has a different sort of voice, so we have to sort of make it sound like us, and sometimes we don't have to do that very often at all, but that's sort of the difference between writers and showrunners. And then we have directors come in for every single episode, and it's usually they don't do consecutive episodes because there's so much prep time, and it's bam, 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 bam. And we shoot for 7 days. So
They come in a week before to prep.
And get locations and pick out costumes and makeup and
get to know the cast and
Right.
get to know us and then they're with us for for like about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Because then they go into the editing room and.
And it's very collaborative. Like, we work with our directors, we work with our writers. We work with everybody. It's a very hands-on job. It's a great job. It's a tough job. But there's a really great documentary called Showrunners.
think it's called Showrunners. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it on Showrunner?
Showrunners.
The second season is coming up, isn't it?
Oh no, this is actually just a movie. It's just a feature-length documentary. The one that I'm talking about.
It was great.
Yeah, but it really explains sort of how the show running process works. It's one of those words. It's kind of a newer word, at least for us, or it's a newer word that's becoming more mainstream. Which I think is very cool. Like, showrunners get to be celebrities now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so true.
We'll do a lot, so
Yeah.
deserve the credit.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite out of the whole process? I think, what is your favorite for both of you guys?
Oh man, that's tough.
You go first.
I will say that like when we first started doing this job, like I loved every part of the process, from casting to from the writing to casting to pre-production to production to the writer's room, editing room. I loved it all, and those moments in your life where you're just like, oh, thank God, I love it all. Like, it's really, and I think that's pretty much true for both of us. Like we really love every part of the process.
I do. I mean, I really like casting because I came from the casting world, so that's something that I feel, capable of doing fairly well. And I, watching those table reads, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of when we all sit around and everyone reads the script out loud for the first time, and there's so much energy and enthusiasm. Those are my favorite times.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
And you get to hear how everything written sounds coming from the actor's mouth.
I'm also a big first person too, so like everything, it's like the first day in the writer's room, the first day, like the first day of filming. I mean, we both are like that, where you have to like have, that moment. Well, I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that.
Congratulations to you, because you guys, I'm telling you, biggest fan here. I gotta say, you don't understand. I get text messages at 12 a.m. I'm like, I'm about to go to sleep, so I get text messages, emails. Biggest fan, and I think you guys have done a great job. Like, for me, it was just kind of like, okay, let me see what this show is about. I had no clue, and I fell in love with the first episode, and I said, okay, I'm a fan now.
She approves.
So it's good to me.
Thank you.
The creators here.
Do you have a couple questions just to wrap it up?
I have one from Dustin, I think.
Okay. Dustin Bradley.
Yes. Are you glad that the show was pushed back to premiere on Freeform instead of on ABC Family?
Yes. Yes.
Very much
That's
so.
easy to answer.
I have kind of a follow-up question to that, actually. Do you feel like you have more room to kind of push the limit on Freeform than you would have on ABC Family?
I think people, obviously you guys, because you're fans of ABC Family, that they were pushing envelopes, and we were getting to push a little bit further because of the subject matter. Nobody wanted to do a show about drugs and not have any drugs in them. So,
Right. Right.
So we got like sort of a special allowance.
Okay.
But it's so exciting to be there because they're doing so many fun, cool things, and they're really trying to. ABC Family, and they did it so beautifully. We're very much a brand, It was like, and if you watched a show, if I just showed you a show, you'd be like, oh, that's an ABC Family show, and you'd be right.
Absolutely.
And they were brilliant at that. I think Freeform, what it's feeling like to us, and the vibe is that they want to try all sorts of new stuff, So Shadowhunters probably 3 years ago wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have happened on that channel.
Yeah.
It would be CW.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But now it feels right on Freeform.
Right. And then we hear about some of the, things coming down the pipeline, what they're sort of developing and thinking about doing, and it's all really exciting, but it's all not ABC Family. It's like we're a new family, it's a new thing, and let's do some new stuff.
It's a new
really
audience.
Cool. Yeah, it's a new audience.
And that's exactly
It's not a family audience.
No, and I feel like they've kind of made it open to all demographics now, because now you can be 12 or 40 or 50 or whatever. I mean, my mom watches ABC Freeform now, so I feel like it kind of covers everything. Everyone can find something that they like.
No, my mom watched the first 3 episodes of the show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, shout out to my mom.
Yeah.
I have another question. Are you guys going to have a Latino character?
Oh, yeah. We already have one. Alexis Cara, the guidance counselor.
The guy.
She's full on 100% Cuban.
Really?
Yeah.
100%.
Shame on me.
Yeah. And then, we actually have a lot of. You'll see.
Upcoming.
Yeah, we have people coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Just waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's happening.
Alexis. I gotta find out Alexis. Okay, good.
Also, I like how I read the article about how you all pitched the show, or how the show was pitched, about the Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can you hint?
Well, that was actually how it was pitched to us.
Yes, it was.
They called and they said, we have this book we want you to read. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet in rehab. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Interesting.
And
Do you think the show's...
Wait, what was that?
Is the show gonna...
Yes.
Oh.
Absolutely. I think that's easy to say. I mean, it's...
Well, it is and it isn't, in the sense that...
Without the
tragedy.
Hopefully,
Romeo
getting killed.
I forgot about that part. I was just thinking the love story part.
I was thinking, hopefully no one dies.
But we don't know.
I mean...
they won't die anytime soon.
Yeah.
You have to kill somebody, though.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. We have that conversation all the time. It's really hard with our cast.
I know,
How are you going to decide?
I know. They're so great. And... Yeah.
It's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
We actually did an eeny, miny, mo.
So it'll be a surprise to everyone.
Let's just say we filmed two different times in a cemetery.
Oh my
the first 10 episodes.
It's true.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Is this going to happen within the first season?
First 10.
Yeah.
First 10 episodes.
We had 2 cemetery scenes. That's all.
Having anxiety.
I said the Latina.
Exactly. There's your Latina.
But it's like something that realistically is a possibility.
Yeah.
Totally. It makes sense.
Setting.
Yeah, for sure.
My dad loves it when characters die on television. It's like his favorite thing in the
Oh
entire
my god.
No, he does. He gets really excited.
I think
That's
you might be
gets
the
him
only
into
one.
the show. He loves it. He likes people to get like Ned Stark.
Oh my god.
Well, that's become like such a phrase now. It's like,
Yeah.
should we Ned? Like, it's like, oh, like that character was Ned Stark. I mean, that like didn't exist before.
Yeah.
To get rid of a character that early on.
We have a bloodlust, Karen and I.
Oh my gosh. That's scary. Well, on that note, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank
We
you so
really
much.
appreciate it. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Oh, great. On Twitter, I'm at I am Bert V Royal, and that's Bert B-E-R-T. I was trying to figure out how to spell my name for a second.
Karen DiConcetto. DiConcetto.
Check us out.
And I'm Becca. You can find me Becca B Talks TV.
Isis Velzquez and the number 4 on Instagram, Twitter, and all that good stuff.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _Michelle Phi.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all the social media channels at Heather Joy Smith. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys once again, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.